Alright, people, so as we head down the road that leads to Avengers Infinity War, which comes out next month, by the way, April 27th, it got moved up 1 week. I'm going to give you guys my top 10 MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe movies.
Welcome to the Kaiba Show.
So coming in at number 10 is Doctor Strange. This movie definitely exceeded my expectations. Not that I thought that the movie was going to be horrible, but it was a lot better than what I originally thought. Doctor Strange is a perfect addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He is a pivotal character in the Infinity Gauntlet story. And the reason why this one is landing at number 10 is because I just felt like the end boss scene, the end fight scene at the end should have came a little bit harder. I was a little disappointed with that. But other than that, this was a well-made movie. Okay, so coming in at number 9 is our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I think this is a Spider-Man movie that a lot of fans have been waiting to get. Not to say anything bad against Tobey Maguire and even Andrew Garfield. I actually love the Spider-Man movies by Sam Raimi. But I think that this was an overall well-balanced Spider-Man movie that the fans have been really dying to see. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I feel like he overall embodied both Spider-Man and Peter Parker. And I think that that's what's been missing out of these movies. Michael Keaton did a really good job as the villain. The storyline was well made. The jokes, everything was well balanced. And that's why Spider-Man Homecoming is landing at the number 9 spot. Okay, so landing in the 8th spot is going to be my boy Hulk Smash with his partner in crime, Thor. That's right, Thor Ragnarok. I don't think anybody will argue with me when I say that this is probably the best Thor movie in the Thor trilogy. The only thing that I didn't like about the movie was the buddy cop comedy about it. I felt like this movie needed to be a little bit more serious since it was based off of the Thor Ragnarok storyline. Other than that, the action is good. The villain, played by Cate Blanchett, was definitely a good addition to this movie. I liked the movie. It was just that the comedy was a little bit too much, and that's why Thor Ragnarok is landing in the number 8 spot. So flying in at the number 7 spot is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. And I think everybody was surprised at how well this movie ended up being. Like, this movie came out of left field. Because I'm not going to lie, I thought this movie was going to be trash, but it was surprisingly good. Everything about this movie was well made. The director, the writers, everybody did an awesome job with making Guardians of the Galaxy. And yeah, there's nothing else to say. This movie was good, and that's why this movie is landing in my number 7 spot. So coming in at number 6 is going to be the movie that started it all for the MCU. That's right, it's Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. gave us one of his best performances to date when he made that movie. I think everybody fell in love with Tony Stark because of what Robert Downey brought to the table. The storyline was so well made for this movie. I love everything about this movie. The only thing that when it came out that I was a little disappointed with was I felt like the end fight scene at the end it didn't really come fully loaded like the rest of the movie did, and that was my only gripe with the movie. I just felt like the ending should have been a little bit better. Other than that, Iron Man was a well-made movie, and that's coming in at number 5, Iron Man starring Robert Downey Jr. Now, rounding out for my top 5, this one was hard for me, people, so I'm just putting that out here in the universe. That was really tough for me to make my decision. But coming in at number 5 is going to be the reason why the MCU was started in the first place. That's right, Avengers is going to round out number 5 for me. This movie, I think, was every fanboy's dream, having all of our favorite superheroes come together for the greater good. And I just felt like this movie was freaking spectacular. I've seen this movie at least 3, maybe even 4 times in the theater when it came out because I was just so amazed at how well made this movie was. Everything from the visuals, the storyline, the acting, the action, everything about this movie at that time, back in 2012, so let's put that in perspective, at that time just screamed almost perfection for me. And I just love the first Avengers movie. It was the reason why, like I said, the MCU was started in the first place. So yes, rounding out number 5 is going to be the first Avengers movie. Okay, so number 4 and 3 is kind of interchangeable depending on what mood I'm in that day. But yes, rounding out number 4 is going to be Winter Soldier. This movie was almost perfection at its best. It was way better than the first Captain America movie. The Russo brothers did a real good job with developing this movie and bringing it to the fans the way that they did. I always said that this movie felt like Avengers 2.0. The storyline, the characters, the action scene, everything about this movie was just well made. So coming in at number 4 is Captain America Winter Soldier. So coming in at number 3 is going to be Avengers Age of Ultron. Some people might argue with me that, oh, I felt like the first Avengers was better. But for me, I like Age of Ultron a little bit better than the first Avengers just because Ultron, for me, was the better villain. And I like the introduction of Vision in this movie, too. So Age of Ultron has a slight edge for me over the first Avengers because there's something about the first Avengers that I just love so much. But like I said, at the end of the day, where I have to draw the line between the two is going to be because of the villain, and I felt like Ultron was the better villain versus Loki in this movie. And yes, so coming in at number 3 is going to be Avengers Age of Ultron. So coming in at the number 2 spot is going to be my man T'Challa. That's right, the King of Wakanda himself, Black Panther. From start to finish, this was a well-made movie. The storyline, the character development was awesome. I tip my hat off to Ryan Coogler. He did an awesome job. Eric Killmonger is definitely probably going to be one of my new favorite villains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The only reason why it comes in at number 2, and some people argue with me that they feel like Black Panther is the best MCU movie, but I just felt like when it came to his fighting scenes in the movie, it didn't live up to the hype of how they showcased him in Civil War. I felt like he did a better job with his fighting in that movie than they did in his own standalone movie. So I was a little disappointed with that because I wanted them to come just a little bit harder. But other than that, Black Panther is a well-made movie and it definitely deserves to be in the top category. So this movie comes in at number 2. So that's right, people. We are left with the number 1 spot. And landing in that spot, are you guys ready? That's right, it's going to be Captain America Civil War. Everything about this movie was just phenomenal. We have probably one of the biggest cast ensembles when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe to date, besides Avengers Infinity War, because we know there's going to be like 50 million characters in that movie. But the Russo brothers was handed all these characters, and they did a good job incorporating everybody. Everybody had a part to play in this movie, and it was well made. Everything was good. Storyline, action, the twist, everything. Just I can't get enough. The visuals, cinematography, everything about this movie was just awesome. I love this movie. I can't get enough of this movie. I watch this movie all the time. Everybody knows the airport scene is probably one of the best action scenes out of all 17. I think we're on number 17 now after Black Panther. That's probably one of the best action scenes out of all 17 movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The surprises that they gave us, I think as a fan, when I saw Ant-Man finally turn into Giant Man, I just couldn't get enough. That was a freaking secret that was well worth being kept a secret. I'm glad they didn't give that to us in any of the trailers, because when I saw that on the big screen, I got so excited. Civil War is probably definitely, until Infinity War come out, Civil War is definitely number 1 in my book. So yes, landing out that number 1 spot is going to be Captain America Civil War. Just in case if anybody's wondering why I didn't mention X-Men or Deadpool or any of these other Marvel movies, they're not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, just in case if you guys didn't know that. So that's why there's no mention of movies like Deadpool or X-Men in this. So that's how I came out with my top 10. These are based off of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So if you like what you see and you want to see more, please hit the subscribe button. After hitting the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you get notified every time I upload a video. And please hit the like button and leave a comment at the bottom.